Hello, and welcome to episode 86 of the 21 Handshake Marketing Podcast. Today we are talking why social media consistency is important. And of course, this starts with, you guessed it, another audit of your social accounts, and then it moves into actionable steps. Now, we are all about auditing lately here, and not just because it's tax season. So, okay, but first, if you're new around here, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sarah, an account manager here at 21 Handshake.
My name is Alex. I'm in charge of visual content.
And this social consistency is actually step 4 of our 9-step digital marketing process. And if you're not sure what even the heck we're talking about when we say digital marketing process, go back and listen to episode 68, which goes over an overview of each of the steps that we have found that when our clients use this 9-step process, they go from not being known online to being an authoritative presence online. So that's something that interests you. And of course it is. Why wouldn't it? You want to get leads and succeed as a business. We definitely recommend checking that out. So again, this is step 4, social consistency. So we are talking what that means and why you need some goals and some actionable tips today. When we work with clients and start to dive deep into their social accounts, the first thing I love to talk about is social media goals. I think a lot of businesses, they jump onto social media because someone told them they need to do that, but then they have no clue why they are there except, that reason that someone told them they should be. And then they're like, I don't have time with this. It's not bringing me leads. I'm not getting traction. I don't have time to post. And so they just get frustrated and stop. So you need to start with those goals first. It can be very effective as a business to be on social media, but you need to know why you're being on there.
I think too many businesses make the mistake of making their goals, posting X times a week.
Yeah.
And that being the goal itself is going to cause you to just post content for the sake of posting content.
Yeah.
And the viewers of that will see right through that.
Yeah, they're not going to relate to that. They're not going to feel like that's authentic. So you need to have goals. So we're going to go over some social media goals that we discuss with clients. They fit into a few different buckets. And if you want this checklist of goals, we know you're probably driving right now or exercising or something listening to this. So visit 21 Handshake a little later. It's going to be under episode 86 under the podcast media area to grab this free checklist. So what are some of the social goals that we go over with clients?
So we got 4 different goals. They are social listening goals, social influencing goals, social networking goals, and social selling goals.
Ooh, so what do we mean by those? Because it's one thing to list them, but what does those actually mean?
Yeah, so we'll kind of roll through kind of some bullet points within each one that will help explain what each of them is.
Definitely,
so,
let's do it.
Social listening goals. Managing reputation. Reputation. It's. I think this is one of the simpler things to probably accomplish.
Yeah.
Using social media, but it's just using the existing platforms to see what people are saying about your business.
Yeah, exactly. You want to know what is being said out there, what are customers saying, who's maybe posted something about you guys, listed a review about you, any of those.
Anything that's positive and probably more importantly, negative.
Yeah, exactly. Because you want to be able to respond to that.
And dealing with those, yeah. So increasing retention, so keeping customers that you already have.
Yep, again, that would be accomplished by listening. So what are they talking about? What are they saying?
Reducing refunds, and hand in hand with that is answering frequently asked questions.
Yeah, so if definitely you're a business that's maybe selling products online, that's going to be a huge thing. If you're answering your questions, you're kind of getting on top of that. And hopefully they won't be sending your product back or coming to your store or whatnot.
Yeah, setting those expectations. Identifying product or service gaps.
Yep.
And identifying content gaps.
Yeah, you might find out that your customers are asking something online that they've never asked maybe an outside salesperson or something.
Totally.
Odds are that probably isn't true, but they might be asking in a different way or phrasing it a different way that you haven't thought of.
Moving on to social influencing goals, increasing engagement. So the number of people that know you, like you, trust you, etc.
Yeah, you want to get that influencing. That's a big topic, but being authoritative in the space about your product or service is very important.
Mm-hmm. Increasing website traffic. I think all three of these are kind of there's sort of like a Venn diagram that all overlap with one another.
Yeah.
So increasing website traffic and increasing offer awareness as well.
Yep. So again, this comes back to what is your goal to be on there? And that is what we are talking about. And this is important to be able to define this. And you might say, well, all of those are my goals. Okay, that's fine. But let's kind of divide it into like what's most important.
Yep. Social networking goals. So earning media mentions, and this can happen via interviews that you do with external sources, links from other bloggers, speaking at events, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely a huge goal of being on social media, is connecting with those influencers in your space, collecting with maybe publications that are on there. Even if you think, my industry is not online, odds are, even if you're in concrete, there's a publication out there that's posting, and why not get hooked up with them, because they might throw you a loop and post an article of yours.
Totally.
They're always looking for content themselves.
I think it's one of the best ways to get an extra little injection into your audience that without having to pay, ad like Facebook ads or Google ads or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
And last but not least, social selling goals. So generating leads or growing your email list. Initial customer acquisition. So getting new customers. And then on the flip side of that, cross-selling or upselling to your current customers.
Yeah, there's so many times I talk with clients and I'm like, well, did you include a call to action in your social media post? No. It's like, why not? People want to know what to do if they liked it.
Yep. And then increasing buyer frequency. So selling more often to your current customers.
Yeah, maybe they don't know about a product that you offer, or maybe you have a product that you're like, oh, it's new, we need to get word out about it. Mm-hmm. But then you forget to mention it to all of your social media audience.
Just for example, some of the more popular posts that we had for a client last year was when we made a little micro video about carbon fiber hard hats.
Yes.
Which is very niche and very unique to them. And obviously it's a cool visual thing to show. But that one kind of stirred the pot in a good way.
Yeah, people were like, we didn't know you sold that. Awesome. Yay. So it's just cool how even simple things that you don't even think about can be very effective online by letting your followers already know about that.
Totally.
So next, after we establish the goals of even why you're going to be on social media, we move into an audit. And this is really, we stress the importance of knowing your brand story. This is why we stress that at the beginning in our foundation steps. And we audit your brand and we define your buyers in steps 1 and 2, because now you will be checking each account for consistency of that messaging. So the worst thing you can do is have one message somewhere, but then totally talk about something different. And this even, comes down to like your logo or the icon you're using or the colors or how you're talking to them. So we move through a simple template to check each social profile for messaging, tone, and determine each social profile's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Yes, we just talked about SWOT there, the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats, old school marketing, but still so important for today. So the goal of the audit is to determine not only the consistency, but also which profiles are working for you versus which ones aren't working for you. Mm-hmm. So do you need to be on each social media platform? You might not need to be. You could just be wasting time on some of them and just hanging out there, posting stuff, and none of your audience is on there. Mm-hmm. So to dive into this, I'll screenshot the audit template in our show notes. But to go over this, we start with, we look at the account and the branding. Sounds pretty simple, but you'd be amazed how many times we meet with clients and they have a different logo on each platform. And we're like, why don't you have the same logo on each platform? Like that logo was 10 years ago, or whatever, or whenever they got on social media. So that one's pretty simple. Look at the profile, look at the URL that you've posted on the profile. Is that the same? Is that consistent across it? Has your profile been verified by, Instagram, Facebook, isn't an official kind of business page, business account? Does it match your style guidelines? What needs to be changed? So these are all things that we look at, simple things just off the get-go. Look at the story, look at, yes, it's going to change slightly from platform to platform, but not your base story. The length of the story might change, but it's going to be a consistent story.
Being contextual to the platform that you're on.
Yeah. Like on Instagram, you're going to have the same story, but you might put a few emojis on there. Versus LinkedIn, where you're going to have the same story, but it's going to be a little longer. It's going to be more professional. Versus Facebook, Facebook has a couple places that you look in. You look in your about section, then you look in your longer about section. So make sure all of those are filled out and telling you the same story. It's amazing how many people haven't gone back and changed or updated their Facebook profile since Facebook implemented like these different places to put your story on your business page. Go check it out. That's the point of a social media audit. So then we look at engagement on each platform. You can go to your analytics on each platform, quickly scan them. What post had the highest engagement? Those were resonating, obviously, with my audience. What is kind of the clicks that people are clicking on and actually visiting from your social media post? Has it changed year over year? If you've not been on there that long, has it changed month over month? What are your organic page likes? You look at all of that stuff from an engagement viewpoint to see, well, maybe if you've been on there for 3 years and you only have 5 likes, either you need to kind of change some strategy to get some more, or you need to maybe not be on that platform. So those are some things to look at when we look at engagement. And again, the same thing here that kind of goes with engagement is we look at audience. Like, what are your total fans? Again, like I said, if you've been on there for a couple years and you only have like 10 fans, but you're still posting every day, like it's kind of probably going to be a waste of your time, and you really should focus on getting more page likes or, Instagram likes or anything like that, profile likes. You want to check your new fans, even how many people have unliked you. And that, might be a little easier on some platforms than others. Publishing, you want to look at your post. How often are you publishing? How many photos you've shared? How many videos you've shared? How many, again, how are those being engaged with? Did they get a lot of engagement? Did they not get a lot of engagement? Those popular ones might show you that, hey, I need to post more of that same type of content because people resonated with that. They liked it. They liked a video versus a photo. They liked a photo versus a video. They liked this type of article versus that type of article.
And if there's something that did really well, you can also reshare the same thing.
Yes. Reshare it. Maybe write a little new context about it. Reshare it again, like you said, because if it was popular once, odds are it's going to be popular again. And again, that kind of goes hand in hand with those top engaged posts as well that we kind of look at. And we actually list these out. Like, what were your top 5? Okay, why did they like them? Let's reshare them. Let's think of other ways to use them. So, and then again, like I said, we go through a small SWOT analysis of each platform you're on, because this helps you tell, what worked, what's a threat. That might be something as small as my competitor is doing big. Actually, that would be a big, or my competitor is doing better. Or it can be also a huge thing. Is the algorithm changed on the platform? All stuff to be cognizant about. We look at your strengths. So maybe you have a high engagement rate with a large following. That's obviously going to be a big strength. How can you continue to capitalize on that? Your weaknesses. Maybe you look at your competition and say, wow, they're posting, 2 times a day, and look at the engagement they're getting versus we're posting once every other day and we're not getting any engagement, or they're posting some content that we don't have. So it just kind of gives you some insight to work off of, because obviously if it's a competitor posting it, you probably have some audience that you're overlapping. So definitely we look at those, we kind of map it all out. And this just, this social media audit and looking at consistency, just, goes to show just like you're telling the same story across each platform that's going to resonate. So someone comes to your website and they click on your social button and they go to your social media and they're like, what? Like that doesn't match up. Or someone didn't post anything in the last 2 years. Believe it. We've had that happen. Like maybe you should just take your social icon off your website at that point. Like if no one's going to be like consistent on the platform, maybe don't even show that you're on the platform at that point, because people are going more and more to discover that social proof from a business.
Yeah.
But if you're not active on there or something's not correct on there, it's going to start to create a little doubt for that customer.
Yeah.
Like maybe this business isn't as legit as I thought they were.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You don't want to create any doubt with your customers or prospective customers. I would say especially with your prospective customers that you're leading there. So in a nutshell, that's the social media consistency audit. It's a little deeper dive than actually just consistency, because we do look at all those other factors as well. And again, if you want the free checklist of the social media goals to determine, hey, why are we even on here, or why should we even be on here, head to 21handshake.com in the media area under podcast episode 86, and we will have that checklist for you to dive deep into that. So, all right, anything else about social consistency?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Did you find this episode helpful? We sure hope so. If so, we would love if you shared with a friend, subscribed, or left a review. Until next time.